Blog Talk Radio.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Denise, host of Let's Talk, and I am in the studio with my co-host.
Hello?
Are my co-hosts here?
Hey, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know everybody else, but I'm here.
I'm here. I'm in the building.
How's everybody
All right.
doing?
Doing well.
I'm doing great.
Well.
Excited for the show.
Okay. Yes, we can't have that dead silence, so let's speak up.
Yeah, back from the abyss. Definitely back from my medical emergency. So I thank God I'm here and healthy and ready to go. You know, relatively.
So what's been going on with you guys this week, Wilson?
Well, with me, I've been working on some new music for sure, and trying to get that recorded and laid out. Some of it is from my movie I'm going to try to shoot next summer, or at least spring when the weather breaks. And you know, just basically just trying to get that done and start planning out videos and getting that stuff done as far as that's concerned on that end. So that's primarily what I've been working on since I've been on this leave here, this medical disability, since I had my heart attack. So that's what I've been working on. You know, just working on my music and trying to progress in that area, in that arena, and go from there.
So did you say you were on medical disability?
I'm sorry, say again?
So did you say you were still on medical disability?
Yeah, I'm on medical leave because I've got some issues going on. So they're going to try to evaluate me a little bit later on. They got to do an EKG and find out but I guess enough time has to go by just for me to show the improvement. And so they got me on so they have to be a certain amount of time, and then they'll do the EKG to see if my heart at that point is where it should be as far as my progress is concerned. So that's going to so basically that's what I've been on medical leave, just because it takes a lot out of you. You know what I mean? I tried to go back to work a few weeks ago, thinking I was Clark Kent, and I found out I wasn't. Found out real quick I wasn't. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know, I used to think I had bad MF on my wallet. Now it's just BA. Bad attitude, or you know what I mean, bad angle, something, you know what I mean. But I ain't the stud I used to be. But I'm working on getting that back. You know what I mean. So I heard you got a new guy from Wakanda to co-host on the show now.
Absolutely. Joshua from the Naparazzi magazine. That's who I am.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw the name. I was like, look at you. I was like, all right. Well, I guess I went down too long, and I got a.
Hey, she had to keep it moving.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all. We need another man on the squad anyway. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I said. We've been rotating. I just got to get that perfect fit. And I just may have two females,
absolutely.
two males.
Oh, that's what's up.
What you been doing this week?
I've been talking to Miss Melva Moore. I'm excited about that. She's going to be on the cover of her December issue. So I've been really excited about that because I like Melva Moore a lot. And she's a oldie but goodie, and she's coming back with some new music. She just released a new single called Doing Me. So we've been promoting that.
Oh,
it's been really fun. Yeah, Melva's back. So, yeah, She's back. She just finished a Broadway play, too, so she's really getting back into the spotlight, and we're going to help her with that with December's issue.
Okay, well, that's good.
Freddie was her protege, Freddie Jackson.
Absolutely, yeah. Freddie's, I think he's on, well, he just got off tour from COVID, but he's been doing, Instagram live shows. So he's still doing it. Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Freddie Jackson used to move, and I mean, he pretty much, everything Melba Moore did is what he done on stage, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So she's very integral in his career for sure.
Yeah, I think they kind of bounced off each other too. Sorry about that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, I think they kind of bounced off each other because it was a time where she needed Freddie, and now kind of Freddie needs her. So that's kind of what they've done. I think that's what we all should do in entertainment, is kind of stick together and help each other out.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, he had one of them, at one time, he had one of them Michael Jackson runs, Freddie did, where he was just like number one. Every album he was coming out was number one hit after number one hit after number one hit.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, to me, he's a giant that's a little bit underrated as far as his contributions to, in particular, to R&B. I mean, the guy was just underrated. He was as prolific as they come. You know, multi-platinum artist.
Yeah, straight from the church too. So.
Oh yeah, no question. Most of those the great singers are start off in church anyway. At least that's the way it used to be. You know, I mean,
I agree.
The R&B acts anyway, the old R&B acts, they used to all come. A lot of them, you know, from Aretha on down. You know what I mean? Even before her, actually, before her, Sam Cooke. A lot of those, you know, classic artists started off in church. So, you know, it's
absolutely.
It's, you know,
so
not no coincidence.
Can you tell us how you memory on how you got into doing what you're doing with your magazine?
I got into actually I'm an artist myself. I'm a rapper, hip hop artist. So I figured we didn't have any media here. Like if I was to drop a record, who's gonna pick it up? You know, there's no TMZ here. There's no media. So I decided in 2016 create my own media. So then when I do drop music, I can do a story on myself. So it was really selfish at first of me to start it. But then when I started it, it really enlightened me to help other people. And then now it's like a circle of everybody. From Chicago, from California. I even got people from Jamaica sending me records now. So now it's becoming a big thing. When it was a selfish idea, it started with in my head, and now it's like so unselfish now. You know what I mean? So that's how I started it. Yep.
Wow. That's cool.
I just casted him in one of my short films.
I can't hear you what you say. I'm sorry.
I said I just casted you in one of my short films.
Absolutely, and I'm excited about that. I've been looking at the script all week. I'm excited about that. I think it's a great script, and I want to know, how did you come up with that story?
You know what? To be honest with you, it's called The Wrong House. And I had this idea about a year and a half ago, and I'm just now getting to it. So I really don't remember how I came up with this. I have so much in my head, different stories and stuff, so I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
It could have been
that one stood out.
I don't know. It's just, I don't know. And then I have one more scene to finish up with the cabin, because we were in Gatlinburg, and we filmed a short film there. And I have one more scene to add to that before I release it.
Oh, okay. So we're excited about that.
And been working with my writers group. We got a television series that we're working on. We got the pilot completed, and we're so excited about it. Oh my God! I love it, and I was speaking to them yesterday, and they're really into it too. So that makes me feel good, because I came up with the plot. I wrote the majority of the first pilot. We have 2 females that are coming in, working on the second episode with us. She wrote maybe like 10 or 5% of the pilot. So we're all digging in on the other series. And we're going to send a script consultant to have this person look over it, tell us what we're doing wrong or what we need to change. If we need to add, we're going to start submitting to some film festivals.
Oh, I think that's great. Awesome. Yeah, I think that's great.
That'll work.
What did you say, Naparazzi?
Can you tell us like a little bit what the pilot is about, or can you not say right now, or give us a little bit?
It's called Betrayal, and it's about an African American couple The man's a lawyer, and his wife works at Charles Schwab, and she came through law school. She supported him. She did all kind of stuff for him, and he held him down. And so he passed the bar, and then he started working for one of the largest law firms in the country. And she walks in on him in his office having sex with a white woman.
Well, there it is. Well, there it is. I can't wait.
Oh, Lord.
But that's not even, that is, I mean, that's like nothing.
Man.
So he faced pregnancy, and because of his wife was working 2 jobs, she was struggling, just trying to, their roof over their head. She had 2 miscarriages, and the doctor told her that she would never be able to have any kids, and that's what he was so bad. So when she fakes a pregnancy, he tells his wife that he's going to get in a divorce, and that they're expecting a child and everything. So that leaves her heartbroken and everything, and he has a best friend that's friends with his wife as well. He really cares about his wife, because they're really good friends. And so he starts coming around. And
whoa.
I mean,
Come around sniffing us.
he ends up marrying a white lady. And the only reason why, I'm just going to tell you this a little bit, the only reason why she conned him the way she did, she shows him a pregnancy test, but it's not even her test, it's someone else's test.
Oh.
She has a guy in prison that committed several murders, but the evidence against him needs to prove this group of men, they paid the judge off, so he got sentenced. So what she's doing is she's trying to handle the case just to make a name, because she knows he wants to make a name for himself, to get him out, and in getting married, they get some life. She talks him into getting some life insurance policies, 2.5. And he's getting a little leery.
Wow.
He's getting a little leery. And so what he does,
Yeah, you think?
He changes.
You think? You know what I mean? Look here, baby.
That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you. It's just going to be so much going on.
I mean, I don't even want to watch Power Hour. I think that I want to watch that. I'm ready for that. That's crazy.
It's so much more, and I can't tell you. I mean, we've not written everything out. It's just, this is how I have did the pilot. The whole plot, I already know from the beginning to the end. We just got to write it.
Right, that sounds great. I can't wait to watch that. I think it's going to keep the people hungry each week, especially if you do a series or web series. They're going to stay hungry for the next episode.
And see, what we're trying to do, we're not trying to film this ourselves. We're trying to submit it to film festivals where the networks like Turner or whoever can develop it on their channel. But if we have all these episodes, we want to continue to write on, be the writer. So they don't have to go hire. We already got stuff already together.
Okay. Your line is breaking up quite a bit, Miss Denise. I don't know what's going on, but your line is breaking up quite a bit. Yeah,
is it? Because
I'm
I'm actually doing it through my computer. Can you guys hear me now? Let me switch.
Yeah, switch, because you're like really in and out quite a bit.
Yeah,
and we want to hear you.
Wilson, you said you were doing music in this time?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely doing that. I'm working. We got a actual production. We're doing like a Mark Ronson thing, how he done with Bruno Mars. Well,
okay.
I got a production team that I work with, and we actually call ourselves Arctic OGs. And
that's tight.
And so we're writing. I'm writing music to a movie that I'm entitling "The Love Music Makes," and I got a title track to that. And I also got other songs that I'm working on. We've got 2 main characters that are the lead people, and so I've written a few songs for the female part. I've yet to write songs for the male part, but I'm basically what I'm doing now is just trying to get I'm writing from the standpoint that if I was the lead character is sort of a bohemian kind of the neo soul type artist, and she's been working with producers who really don't know her, haven't really gotten to her inner voice or what she feels like is her inner voice as far as her writing style and so forth. And so these are hit makers that she's working with, but they're not writing stuff for her that's got enough substance to it, so to speak. So she's getting frustrated with that, and so then she ends up meeting this guy that's also a hit maker, but he kind of tunes into her sensibilities and what she really wants to write about, and so then they go forward with and eventually get romantically involved and kind of the twists and turns of their relationship and how that goes on. So I'm writing the story, writing that story, and I'm writing the music to coincide with that, and so that's what I'm doing right now. And I've got a couple of writing partners that are working with me as far as the music is concerned. I got.
This sounds great. What was that title track though? Can you give us that? The name of the title track?
Oh, the title track is the title of the movie, The Love Music Makes.
The Love Music Makes. That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one.
It's up tempo. It's like a club track actually. It's a club track, but I also got another song that I've written, and it's called On My Moon, and it's real nice. It's real smooth. You know what I mean? I let Denise hear it, and she really liked it. And I've got another couple of songs that I've written as well. But I've been writing for the past several years now. Actually, I started a long time ago. When I was in my 20s, actually, I started a long time ago, but I stopped doing it because I had to raise my family. And so I would work my 8-hour days, and then I'd get off work, and then I'd be in the studio like 6 o'clock to, say, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. And so that just wasn't going to work, with small children. So I decided to, stop what I was doing and be a dad. But now all my kids are grown, so now I can do what I want to do. And so that's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to, not necessarily make up for lost time, but just, do what I envisioned that I wanted to do those many years ago.
Right.
So
I never say time is lost. I think you picked up.
Is your script finished?
My script is not finished yet, but it's getting close. Okay. I haven't decided what way I want to because, in those stories you see so much stuff that's kind of predictable. You know what I mean? Right. I don't want to be, so I'm trying to think of clever ways to sort of end it where it's not as predictable. But, everybody wants, when you're doing love stories, everybody wants a happy ending. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants a happy ending. I get that. And you're really disappointed if you don't get the happy ending. So I'm going to get the happy ending, but how I get there is going to be a little different. I put it like that.
I'm writing one also by myself, and it's between Love and Basketball and Brown Sugar.
Love and Basketball and what?
Brown Sugar.
Oh, Brown Sugar. Okay, I couldn't hardly hear it. You bleeped out again for a second, but it's better than it was. Yeah. Those are two of my favorite movies, actually. Brown Sugar and Love and Basketball. The only other one that I really love that's love story based is Love Jones. That's probably my favorite movie as far as.
People like that, but it's okay for me. It's okay. I don't know.
Oh, you mean Love Jones?
Maybe I need to watch it again and pay more attention to it.
Well, see, Love Jones was because I used to do poetry, so I used to do open mic, spoken word. I used to do that, so that was really into my in my wheelhouse. I put it like that. So I used to do that back in the day. I used to get up and perform spoken word, and this is before I started songwriting. And so that movie's really in my wheelhouse. Plus, Nia Long, come on, forget about it.
You can't go wrong with you.
Oh man, she was fine as fog here back then, buddy. She's still fine.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? But back then, it was like, she was drinking her bathwater fine then,
Absolutely. And she still is. Nia still got it. I don't care what nobody say. Nia still got it.
Oh, man. You kidding me? She's in that latest movie she's in with, I think it's Omar Epps. Yeah, she's in that latest movie with Omar Epps. I think it's on Netflix or something. I think it's on Netflix, and I watched that movie.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about on Netflix.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's pretty good. Woo! That I don't remember. But I know it's about the guy is just obsessed with her, and he started stalking her.
You know what?
And
I've seen that. Duh, I did. I've seen that. I didn't watch
it. Yeah, I just forget the name of it.
Something else, but I did see some of it.
It's called Total Affair.
Something like that.
No, Fatal Affair. Sorry about that.
Fatal Affair. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. You're right. Fatal Affair. That's it. It was, it was pretty decent. You know what I mean? It was a pretty decent movie. It's predictable, but it was good though. Okay. Those kind of movies make you watch them, you know what's going to happen in the end.
Right.
But yeah, she was my, her and Kerry Washington. Should forget about it. Them my honeys there. That's that's it. I either one of them. Don't matter to me which. You know what I mean? And I'm
doing Jada away. Are we doing Jada away since the entanglement?
Hey, but I get it entangled, mangled, whatever she want to do. You know what I mean? That's real talk. You know what I mean? She's so fine. I introduced to my wife.
You're so silly. So guys, what do you think about Ice Cube or talking to Trump?
Well, it don't matter now because Trump can get out of there. You know what I mean? I was like me talking to Gerald Ford, you know what I mean, or whoever, you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? That don't matter now. He can talk all he wants to, you know what I mean? That dude that messed up his last country, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He done a pretty good job messing it up, though. I can tell you that much. You got to give him his credit. He did mess it up pretty good.
You got to give him
before him, everybody. Y'all remember back when you could walk around without a mask on? Y'all remember that?
Barely. A little bit. I can almost remember.
Y'all remember that? I look finally on those days. Remember you go to a concert, I mean all that. That's gone. And that's inside of his presidency. So him Ice Cube talking to the wrong guy. Maybe he need to I thought he needed to maybe, I guess he had to talk to who was in there at the time, but he really need to cozy up to Biden now. That's the way at least I hope so.
Biden and his team, but they told him to hold off or something like that, or they didn't want to work with him or something. It was something like that. He went to Biden first.
Yeah, and they kind of pushed him off, so he had no choice but to go to Uncle Trump, is what I call him. Because he's the uncle that got money that will not help you out. Yeah.
Right.
Well, my whole thing is if I get Ice Cube is in a position where he's got a platform. Don't get me wrong, he's got a platform and all that. But I mean, to me, for some reason in the black community, they want to use entertainers as representatives of what we do. You know what I mean, or to forward our agenda, I guess. And don't get me wrong, entertainers have their place. Don't get me wrong, they do. How they play Harry Belafonte, you can go down, you can go down a list of entertainers that also link to the struggle. Don't get me wrong, and I don't want to belittle anybody's efforts because if you got a platform, you use it. Don't get me wrong, but problem solving in our community needs to be more economic based. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if it's not based on improving our economic standing, then it really, because all this other stuff will improve once our economic standing improves. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, especially economic.
Yeah, and that's a part of that is our brainwashing in the school system. They brainwash us to let us believe that we are only slaves, and Frederick Douglass, and you heard a little bit about Martin Luther King and slavery, and that's all you heard about. But there was for example, the Mansa Musa was the richest man that ever lived, and you never heard of him in school.
Yeah.
But his kingdom, he's the one that King Midas. The story of King Midas was about him, in actuality. You know what I mean?
I didn't know.
But you would. Oh yeah, that's where they got. That's where they got the idea for King Midas was through Mansa Musa, who had. He drug gold everywhere he went. He actually drove the price. He went to Timbuktu on his pilgrimage to Mecca because he was a Muslim. And what happened is on his pilgrimage to Mecca, he was handing out so much gold, he actually drove the price of gold down.
Oh. Okay.
So that lets you know how much gold he was handing out. What I mean? And he and the kingdom he ruled. If you go look him up on YouTube, you can see like a video about him, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool just to. And his kingdom lasted for over. I think he had a span of where before his kingdom, before foreigners started raiding his kingdom, and it got to be, indefensible because he had so much, so much land and so much, property and such. So before that, it took about 100 years to dismantle what he had going on, so to speak.
It's a powerful black man.
Yeah, but his effects were far-reaching, and and he had a kingdom that was, if they equated his dollars at that time, they equated his dollars to he was worth over $400 billion, if you in today's money.
Wilson,
and so
hold that thought because we're going to have to go to break, and when we come back, we have our guests on the line holding.
Oh, cool.
So just stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Girl, your love is like the ocean, it doesn't seem to end. Can we just keep floating, 'cause it's too far to swim. No rescue or a boat inside, you know it's alright. When I'm with you, I'll drown in it all night. Girl, your kiss is so addictive, and it's always on my mind. Can't resist it for a minute, 'cause it gets me every time. And when you wake up with no makeup, that's true beauty in mine. No matter how I try, I lose it when you smile. You take me 5,000 miles past heaven. And by the way, I gotta say I love you. Your beauty is 5,000 miles past heaven. Every time I look at you, you take me high up like the sunrise, making love to you. Each time it's like a surprise. Baby, you just don't got a clue. I get caught up looking in your eyes. Takes me to the moon. Looking up, I had to thank God, 'cause He gave me the truth. I can't wait till I get home. As soon as I walk in the door, it's on. I got heaven in mind. No matter how I try, I lose it when you smile. You take me 5,000 miles past heaven. And by the way, I gotta say I love you. Your beauty is 5,000 miles past heaven. Every time I look at you. every time I look at you.
Welcome back to Talking It Up. I'm your host, Denise Hill, and I think we have our guest on the line. Do we have Nathaniel and Jay Mullins on the line?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing? This is Denise.
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Great.
Well, I'm going to let you guys go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Hey, go ahead, John. You got this, man. You introduce us.
Okay. Well, my name is Jonathan Mullins, and we represent GIIB, which stands for Get It in Blood. And basically, our whole mantra is, we get it in family. We do business with family and things of that nature. And so when Nate came up with the name, it meant a lot to him. So I liked the whole deep meaning behind keeping things in family and, being able to move hands that way. So, but I'm a personal trainer / music producer / graphic artist. And, I bring my talents to the table, utilizing my skills in that way. So that's me in short.
Okay.
All right. That's what's up. My name is Nathaniel Seymour, a.k.a. Crimson. Musical talent, singer, songwriter, produce a little bit. I'm a martial artist. Our whole team is just like multi-talented. So to go down a list of everything that we do would be exhausting. But what's important for real? So we do a gang of stuff. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at you.
The message is what's important, and what's behind our message is, it's just a cultural forward movement, for just keeping it funky fresh, black peoples. I mean,
right.
We have been the most disenfranchised, the most hated on,
Yep.
people of all time, and at being a black person, there's no greater cause than to help our today's society realize our greatness once again, and that's what Tulsa's all about. Our album, called Tulsa, and it's just about bringing that back, because a lot of people don't know about our rich black history on this American soil. They tell one of slavery, and and that's pretty much what they teach you in school. They don't teach you, about all the great inventors. They tell you about a couple of them. They don't tell you
right.
how many inventors that we had, all of the great communities, like Tulsa, Oklahoma, before the bombing in 1921. That we had established after slavery, where we were not only surviving, we were thriving. And
right.
that the fact that, the ancestors of the people who live today who benefit from the hurt, harm, and murder of our people, it's still prevalent today. And while people say, oh, you never were a slave, you never owned anything, or we never owned any slaves, I'm like, yeah, but the benefits and the hurt is still there.
Right.
The benefit for them is still there. The hurt is still there for us, and the harm is still there. The systems that were set up so long ago to keep us enslaved and to keep us disenfranchised are still the same systems that are in play today. So with nothing changed, how can anybody ask us to give a message with music other than when it's going to free our people? So that's what we're about.
So how long have you guys been into music?
Long time.
Forever.
Forever. Yeah, that's kind of a funny story, because if you read my bio personally on the website, we started off doing, and Nate was writing way before this, but our collaboration came together in high school, and they used to call me the human radio, because I would be the beatbox, person at the Cypher, at the Rock. And everybody would be like, yo, where Mullins at? Where Mullins at? So, yeah, but it's really neat to see the people that were in that circle back then that are actually, you know, pursuing music heavy now, like the both of us.
Okay.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So who are your main
Nate's
inspirations
been writing
as
for
far as
years.
music? Who
What
inspired
got you into
musically?
writing music?
What got me into writing music?
Yeah.
Just the love for it. I've always just been around music. I've seen my mom write. My mom, she's a pianist and a singer. So it's just been something that I've always been around. So, and then, you know, all kids do is just copy what they see the adults do. So I would see my mom writing music, so I'd get my paper out and I would start writing music too. You know,
really?
that's what it was for me. Yep, that's all it was. I was just copying my mama.
Okay.
I fell in love with it.
So who are some of the known artists that inspired you guys' music?
Wow. I can tell you, for me, a long time, it was hard for me to find inspiration for the music that I have now, because there wasn't anybody that was like that I could look to. Of course, there were people that inspired me as far as being conscious and aware, like your Commons and your Black Stars, Pharoah Monch, and people like that, people who had a message, you know, Brand Nubian, and that inspired me, you know what I'm saying, to keep my message there. But as far as the style, I think, and I say this, he's actually a newer artist, you know, but Toby Nwigwe and the Originals, I feel like have the message that is pretty much parallel to my own, you know. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's a guy, he's the Try Jesus guy, and when I say that, people usually get it.
Yeah.
For me, back in the day, it was the triple the triple threat. Timberland, Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, you know, I grew up, you know, listening to them, and I used to love listening to Timberland, you know, because I loved his beats. But then, you know, as I got older, and just like Nate said, you know, as we became more conscious and aware, I came out with an EP called You, like just about a year and a half ago, actually. And I said, well, how can I use my talents as a producer to actually help people? You know, outside of, you know, me being a quote-unquote famous producer. You know, it's like, yeah, cool. But, you know, how can you really utilize that? So I came up with infusing this idea of personal development with, you know, people who are leaders like Les Brown, you know, Jim Carrey, you know, who does a lot of inspirational talk, Denzel, Oprah, you know. So I came up with these, you know, really interesting clips, and I would play them over these beats that I made. And so you would hear a beat, you know, that would make you bob your head, but then you hear a positive message, you know, that would interject into the song. So, you know, but I got that whole concept from listening to a lot of Christian hip-hop artists like Lecrae, you know, Triple E, Andy Mineo, KB, you know, Teddy Shy. So, you know, that's kind of my lane as far as, like, inspiration. But then, you know, even with our own sound, Nate says we have what you call a marriage, you know, because we've been perfecting and producing, you know, our sound that's infused together for a while, and it's very unique. So.
Oh, awesome.
Man, so what produced?
I'm sorry, you cut out. I didn't hear that.
I said, what artists have you produced? How many?
Oh, just Nate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much a family thing. We've been, like I said, we've been crafting our brand together for years. Now we do have other teammates who are artists, you know, like Chick Charity, my sister constantly as well. But we are definitely heavy in the community and cultivating other artists to come out underneath our label that we're creating independently, GWIB LLC. So, yeah.
Okay, you guys are conscious, right? Would you call yourself conscious?
Conscious.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, well, how do you
I
kind of balance that? How do you kind of balance that, like being conscious, but you don't want to be too conscious where you're preachy and people run away from it? How do you keep that happy balance?
Dude, that's the thing though. That's what I was struggling with my entire career with my voice, trying to find exactly how I wanted to say what I wanted to say, so it didn't sound corny. And like I said, keeping it funky again, I would listen. I wanted a positive message, and the only real positive music out there at the time that was being played heavily was Christian music, and I was listening to that, and that was whack. Sorry, it was just whack. I didn't want to hear some Bible thumper talking about busting guns, and but you're trying to make it metaphorical. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, man, cut it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
I agree.
If you're gonna preach a message. It is what it is. But I don't know. I just wasn't feeling it. So but I know. So what made it difficult, honestly, was trying to be positive and be hot and be nice too. I'm like, I'm going to be nice regardless, but like, how am I going to get people to feel this and dance to this positivity? Because honestly, our people are so backwards. We gravitate towards the negative so easy. But when we hear that positive, it's like poison to us, to our ears for some reason. This is like, I don't want to hear this crap. I'm like, wow. And, when you see people react that way, I'm just like, we really have a diseased mindset. So how do I fix that? So it took me a while to actually find my way to make music that was actually, was still good, that anybody could listen to and still dance to and appreciate the creativity, as well as have a message that's going to enrich the person that's listening to it instead of, something that's going to be detrimental. And I found that, I found that just recently. When I started making Tulsa is when I actually found that voice, and when I made this project. Because some of my earlier projects you'll hear that I'm still, and that's what I said. I don't want to say I'm too conscious. That's not what it is. I am conscious. I'm aware. Words are very important to me. As a studying psychologist, I find it very intricate, the words that we should use when we employ them. So I'll say this. I'm educated in awareness. I like to say I'm educated in awareness. I took my time out to learn myself, and then I took my time out to actually learn the environment that I was in and learn my people. So I educated myself in these fields, and now I have a firm understanding of what my message needs to be. Because that's what I was trying to figure out. I didn't know what it needed to be. I just know that it needed to be positive, and I knew that it needed to help people. But now that I know,
for people, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Hello?
Yeah, I didn't get that last part. And you know what? I didn't even get your name, sir. I'm sitting here talking to you and everything. It's really good. I know I got Denise right, and that was from the text, right, Denise?
Right. Wilson Murkison, he's a co-host, and Naparazzi Johnson.
Okay.
From the Naparazzi magazine, yes sir. Sorry, I went out for
Yo, brother, it's so nice to meet you. It's so nice to meet you formally. I was sitting here talking to you, and I was like, wait a minute, what's your name, yo?
Right.
Yo, we from the South.
Well, we all family.
All about the hospitality and respect. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I gotta know.
Yeah, we all blood.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, but family, man, we love y'all, and we thank y'all for having us on here. But yeah, I just didn't catch the last part that you said after I had made my statement, Wills. And I know we have DJ, you probably don't even remember right now, huh?
Oh my God.
It happens like that. It happens to me all the time. I'll be like, what was I talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
That's
Well, can you
that's
tell
human.
our
That's being
listeners where
human.
they can find your music?
Well, where they can find it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. All right. So you can find us on all platforms. You can catch us at, you go to our YouTube channel at GIIBENT TV. You can go to my Instagram at Crimson GIIB. There's a link tree in there. As a matter of fact, if you go to my Instagram and you go to my profile, there's a link tree there, and it'll take you to everything.
Okay.
That'll be simple.
One of the things that I want to make you guys aware of is that I had made mention of the fact that people are kind of seeking out a music that isn't really uplifting and really edifying, so to speak. But I think part of that, a lot of that is intentionally done. In particular, in rap music, because there was a time when Public Enemy and groups like that, Poor Righteous Teachers, were top-selling artists, but their message wasn't what the mainstream wanted black people to hear, and so they started pushing materialism. You know what I mean? As far as the music coming out, which changed the whole dynamic of how how music is produced and what they fed us. And there's a scene in Malcolm X where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has 2 cups of water, and he pours ink in one of the cups of water, and he said, if you give the people the one, I'm referring to the one full of ink, he said, if you give people something to drink and this is all you give them, they'll drink it. But if you give them a choice, and then he had a glass of clear water next to the water that was full of ink, they will drink from the pure glass. And so that's what and I think that's still true. I mean, if you give people a choice, 9 times out of 10 they're going to choose, what's good for them and what tastes good and what is good as opposed to what's bad. So just keep that in mind and give our people more credit than what they've given us in the media and what they try to perpetrate on us for these 400 years plus years. So if we can, and that's just in the continental United States, and so that's that. So going forward, I think that we need to focus and concentrate on the fact that our message, is a relevant one, and it's a positive one, and in particular in the economic arena. I harp on that a lot, but I think if we concentrate on the economic arena, you also have to have morals, because it can't just be about money. It also has to be about, uplifting your fellow man, but in particular your fellow black man and black woman. So you know what I mean?
Right.
We got to lift our pride. That's just it. And I admire you young fellas for taking that step and having that mindset, because you so a man thinks, so he is. You know what I mean?
That's amen.
So you are.
Yep. And if I can interject.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I can interject, another thing too. There's a saying that goes, if you think you're crazy enough to change the world, then you're probably one of the ones who do. And so that's our whole mindset with the music, is our goal is to change the narrative, because at the end of the day, we understand, just like Nate says all the time, our most precious resource is our children. So we can change the input, we'll change the output. That's how it works. You can teach it. You can feed a man a fish, and you'll feed him for a day. But if you teach a man a fish, he'll eat for a lifetime, right? So when you start understanding that parallel, it's like, what can we really start doing to make sure that the narrative changes, and that we start thinking about what it is that really is important? Because at the end of the day, you can't take materialistic things with you when you die. Doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to say that as well, Willis, because you said something that I wanted to touch on. Because whilst I agree, I totally agree that there are way more of our people who are aware now, more so than there has been in the past. But if we're going to attack this thing head on, one thing I know that we need to be with ourselves and with our people is honest. And if we're truly being honest with ourselves, we're operating underneath, something called cognitive dissonance. Okay?
Yeah.
And so, people throw this word around, but basically, it's kind of like smoking a cigarette, right? We all know what it does now, right? There's too many ads. You know it kills you, but people still smoke cigarettes, and that deals with addiction. Now, and our people have things psychologically going on with them from years of enslavement that we're still going through. Just like I said, being disenfranchised, being in poverty, economically, deprived. All these things have affected us psychologically, and if we don't address that, it's going to continue to be an issue. So when I say we're operating under cognitive dissonance, we know you were correct when given the choice. Most people in their right minds would drink from the pure cup, but our people ain't in their right minds. You see what I'm saying? So They drink from the cup that they were told was for them, but that cup was given to us by somebody else that seeks to keep us down. And we continue to drink from that cup, thinking that it's good, thinking that that's who we are, but that's not us. We have to rewrite the story, and we do that through the music. I gotta tell people, forget everything else you talking about, because from the highest paid lawyer and doctor, entrepreneur, to the lowest slums, everybody listens to music. I don't care who you are. Everybody listens to music, and it influences you some way. And our people need to be influenced in a big way. Our children, they need to stop dancing to this music that with no substance, They know all the songs to the worst songs, They know all the words to the worst songs in the world, but they don't know all the ABCs, you know what I'm saying? They can't speak proper English,
Yeah.
Right.
There's something wrong with that. And we have to address it. And this is not a message. My message that I have, it's for everybody, but it's really for the kids. It really is. It's really for the children. I make music so they don't have to dance to that other stuff. Like, they can like something that's going to put them in the mindset of growth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's it.
So that needs to be addressed in an honest way.
Yeah, because you know what? Cardi B is pretty to look at, but WAP is horrible. You know what I mean? Not with
right.
The, you know what I mean?
Love her personality, but
I mean, don't get me wrong now. What they sing about is great, but in actuality,
we love Cardi.
It's the best in the world, sir. The best in the world.
You know what I mean?
We all from here. We know what it is.
I think Cardi is great.
We sorry, Denise. We having a man moment. Up here. He's like, oh my God, she's on her eyes big time over there. I know she is.
Hey, you know what? What's the name of the little guy, the little singer guy that shot Megan Thee Stallion in the foot?
Oh, Tory Lane.
Oh.
Yeah, Tory, whatever his name is. I'm like, that ain't how you shoot a little cutie. That is not how you shoot a cutie pie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that wasn't a fair fight. You got to do what you got to do.
Gotta school these young boys. They just don't know. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, and that's what it's all about too. Like, we joking and whatnot, but what you said something real. Where it's like, we do have to school these young boys. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, there ain't nowhere in the world.
There's a meme going out there, right? Y'all must. I don't know if y'all seen it, but they're going around saying, people born before the 1980s, they'll bump something and they'll be like, they won't do nothing, and they'll be like, if you're born in 1980 afterwards to 1999, you'll hit something, you'll be like, oh, F, You know what I'm saying? And then they say like 2000 and to the present, they'll bump something and be like, oh, my punani hurts, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, daddy, my punani. I said, what? But see, that right there is the general consensus of how weak this generation is. And it's a true look. It's a good look. Yep. That's how weak they are.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I know, yeah. Oh, daddy.
That is funny.
Well,
it was your soft laughter that just took me. I'm trying to control you.
Wow. I'm sorry I had everybody digress into this, but it.
It's all your fault, really.
We applaud you for that. We had a Cardi B little moment.
But you know,
it Tulsa out. Back to the album.
Yeah,
it's Tulsa out. And then we got a Cardi B feature.
Yeah, I.
Y'all
lead
much,
them.
And what Wilson didn't tell you guys is he's a music producer and writer himself.
What?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I gotta
find out.
Yeah, we gonna have to exchange numbers and such because I'm working on a project now that we actually got a production team and we call ourselves Arctic OGs, and it's actually we're gonna have some performances under that name as well. As far as we got some singers in our camp that we're gonna do it like a Mark Ronson thing with like he did with Bruno Mars.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing that, and I'm also writing music to a soundtrack to a movie that I'm writing. So we're working on some stuff. It coming soon, so to speak. Coming soon. You'll be able to check us out and download us and go from there. So just keep your eyes open. And
that's
but
exciting.
we're doing.
Can't wait.
Yeah, we're doing some party music. We're doing classic R&B. We're doing some house music. We're doing some, and we're also doing stuff that's very Jill Scott earthy kind of. So we do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? But it's we even doing the romance thing too. So we're doing a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? So it's going to be it's time for everything. You know what I mean? It's time to get back to being with the one you love. Hopefully the male female relationship, that dynamic, and doing that thing. I'm not mad at nobody who wants to go the other way, but we we trying to do get it back to square one. You know what I mean?
Shay, I said. Let's get
at least I am anyway. But
you're not the only one with you.
Yeah, it's been it's the skinny jeans era. Hopefully, it's ending now.
Yeah. Hey, now,
you know what I mean?
I have not gotten into the skinny jeans. But I tell you, my workout clothes are fitting. They're quite fitting. And they feel good. I'm not gonna lie.
That's about the only thing that's fitting.
Exactly. I used to watch superhero shows, and I'd be like, I could not wear those tights. And then I started wearing like some fitted workout clothes. I was like, oh my, this feels great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I've fallen into the fold of fitted clothes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm growing anyways. You know what I mean? I take a lot of my fashion cues from a guy called the Style OG on YouTube. So I'm getting into my grown man fashion. He's helping me out with that.
Absolutely.
Well, it's been a joy having you guys on our show. Again, before you guys leave, tell the listeners where they can find your music.
All right, so now we have an album called Tulsa. It's going to be dropping before the end of the year. You know, and how are we going to do that? I don't know, because I might just decide, we might decide as a team to decide to just do some New Year thing. I don't know, but y'all going to get it, though. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Y'all check out Tulsa at the end of the year, and y'all can check us out on, like I said, YouTube, GIBENT TV, Instagram @Crimson, GIIB. Hit the link tree, and it'll take you to our SoundCloud, our Spotify, Pandora. Like, we're on every platform. You hit that link tree, go to my Instagram, and you'll find everything there.
Yeah, it'll take you to the website as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the new single off that?
The new single? Oh, I can't believe we didn't even talk about that. All right, so the new single that's popping right now is called Black Magic. We just dropped the video for that not too long ago, and like we're getting a lot.
Where can I see that at?
Love the video, by the way. Love the video.
YouTube.
Oh,
Yep,
thank
go to our
you.
YouTube channel. Yep, and we
Oh, it's on
appreciate
YouTube?
that. Yes, sir.
Yep.
It's on YouTube. GIBENT TV. Please make sure you subscribe. Oh, and big shout out to my man AB Money, because he hooked us up on just like me personally on so many different levels, and he's also coming out with a new album as well. I don't know if I know about AB Money, but he's big time producer, worked with Tupac, Biggie, he worked with all the greats, Anthony Mosley, AB Money. Y'all look him up, and he got he has a new song out called Feeding Me. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. It's hot to death. That's my brother from another motherfucker.
Okay.
So the movement is Black Magic, though, right? That's the new single.
Right. Black Magic. Okay. Black Magic. And the premise of Black Magic was just about black excellence. So everybody, please check that out. We're past 500 subscribers now on YouTube. So we're about to bust it wide open. Like, we've been getting so much traction lately from the videos and just doing the interviews. People are starting to love, like, listening to our sound. So South Carolina, stand up, you know. Chadwick Boseman, you know, we Wakandians, you know what I'm saying? Like, we out here. Wakanda forever.
Forever.
Hey.
Well, thank you
guys for being on our show. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. You also have a great night.
You too.
You too.
All right. Respect and honor. Peace.
All right.
We're going to go to break, and when we come back, we'll finish up our segment.
All righty.
Stay tuned.
Top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and I changed the game. It's my big bronze boogie got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cooked. We're from dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit that Lil Jon, okay. Oh yeah, we dripping and finesse and getting paid. Ooh, don't we look good together? There's a reason why they watch all night long. Yeah, I know we'll turn heads forever. So tonight I'm gonna show you all when I walk with you.
Welcome back to Talking It Up. I'm your host, Denise Hill, and I'm here with my co-host, Wilson Murkison, and
Hey.
Johnson.
You know it.
So that was an interesting duo.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah. So, you guys, what do you think about this election?
The election?
Yes.
I think it's all a scam. That's what I think. I think it's all a scam. From top to bottom, I think it's from the. I mean, just to keep us occupied, they don't know they know who they're going to pick anyway. You know what I mean? I think they picked the two. I think they work in cahoots. I really do since the beginning of the time. A lot of people say our vote matters. I think it matters to a point, to a degree.
Right.
Because the same problems go on and on every day. And, and I think they just mask them. They put a Band-Aid on the problem. They never fix it. And I think it's all it's a cahoot thing. Who has money, who's more popular, like in high school.
You said like in high school.
It makes sense. And Trump's
right.
the bully. He's definitely the bully.
Well, I think the electoral college system is a way to, in and of itself, eliminate the importance of the single vote. Because what happens is when you get, whatever candidate wins the amount of votes cast, whichever party wins, is actually the ones who get the electoral votes for that particular state. So,
right.
So with this being a Republican-dominated state, we can vote for Biden all we want. If Trump wins the state of Indiana, then he gets the electoral vote. So really, in effect, that makes your Democratic vote null and void. So from that standpoint, yeah, it's rigged. After that, I've been, that's kind of how they control the narrative and control who gets what. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
I agree with that from that standpoint. So really, to me, for a true election to really be effective, they would every man's vote would have to count, and then whoever won the popular vote would actually ascend to the presidency. But that's not how they have that set up. So they've got it where secretaries of state can control whose votes get counted, and it's just all. I put it like this: I always tell people that the president's not going to pay my rent no way, so I have to get it. I have to get it the way I can get it, and I can't. I really don't worry about it beyond that. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
So, that's just what it is.
Right.
We can pretend that it makes a difference, but it really don't in my everyday work. I mean, I guess it's now. Don't get me wrong. The healthcare issue now that came to rear its ugly head in my life in particular. But a good thing I had, I had insurance and savings, so I'm not near as bad as some people would be otherwise. So I had pretty good insurance, But so there are issues that these candidates run on that do affect our daily lives. Don't get me wrong, but the bottom line is, you pretty much got to get it yourself.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's just what it is.
So can we agree that Kanye 2024?
What'd you say to Mr. Denise?
I said, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, can we agree to Kanye West 2024 then?
Never.
Never.
That's the place I'll run.
I vote for you instead, Denise. I'll vote for Denise instead.
Wow. No, that's something I wouldn't do. I'd have more bones coming out, boy, than, you know what I mean, in the Thriller video, you know what I mean?
I'll meet you on that, man.
Yeah. No, you don't need it. He did what? You don't need that. Yeah.
We don't need that.
Did you guys check out that video I sent to you guys on Instagram?
Yes. That was crazy.
I don't know if I did. What was it?
On my platform tonight.
What was that?
I'm gonna put it up on my platform tonight. I seen it earlier. It was crazy. I mean, I can't believe that's still going on with everything that we got going on in America. That's still going on at this moment.
Yeah.
What was the video about?
20 years old. Was she a white lady and she was with a black person?
Yep, she's a white girl. Looked like with a black guy. Yep.
Yeah, and they had went somewhere. I don't know where they went, but these Trump supporters.
Oh yeah. I saw that.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah,
they with that black man. They couldn't take it. That's what it was.
And they sprayed that bear mace on them, and the police didn't do anything about it.
No, they didn't. I saw that. I did see that. That was crazy. You know what? It amazes me how people worry about who somebody else is doing something with. What that got to do with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? If you know,
Mm-hmm.
my grandmother used to say, you know, if you know, when dealing with people in relationships, if he or she is pleased, I'm tickled to death. You know what I mean? That was her.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what she used to say. Well, if they please, I'm tickled to death. In other words, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's how my attitude is. That's my attitude, and that's my philosophy. If you please, you know, and that's, you know, whatever you're doing. You know what I mean? You know, now don't get me wrong. You know that I don't care if it's male on male, female on female, whatever. I mean, if you please, I'm tickled to death. You know what I mean? Yeah. As for me and my house, we gonna do something else. But you know, if as long as what you do ain't involving underage folks, you know what I mean? Folks that can't defend themselves, you know, forcible, any of that crap. As long as ain't none of that going on, then you know, if you got two consenting adults, basically, it's, you know, then hey, do your thing. You know what I mean? Do your thing. You know, and don't, you know, do your thing. Don't let your thing do you.
Right. That sounds like some 70s shit right there. Oops, my bad.
I'm just saying.
I like that.
You know what? I give it to that young girl. She even got out the car, though.
She wasn't scared. She wasn't scared at all.
Yeah, well, she see, that don't make any sense to me because, first of all, if you in a vehicle, in a 2-ton vehicle, you know what I mean, I'm not getting out the car. You roll up on me in my 2-ton vehicle, and I got insurance.
You know what happens? Hit the gas. Put the pedal to the metal.
There you go. You know what I mean? Because I can always just say, hey, I didn't see her. You know what I mean? I don't know what happened. She jumped in front of the car.
But did you hear what she said? One of those people called the police on them saying they had a gun in the car and they searched them and found the gun, but didn't do anything to them.
Yeah, they seen that black man. As soon as you see a black man, he's got a gun. And I think that's what they went off of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you are a black man, you typically do have a gun.
Yeah, I mean, mine is on me now. We got to have one in this day and age.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, no, I ain't what I'm talking about, but that's all right. I feel what you got to, you always walk around with a firearm they're scared of, so to speak. But, you know, it is.
Hey, man, you got to.
You know what I mean? That's why she was in the car. You know what I mean? She was in the car with him because he evidently had a gun.
Scared? Are they really scared?
Nah. Absolutely not.
No, well, I think it's you know, like that old Public Enemy album title, Fear of a Black Planet. That's what it is. It's just Fear of a Black Planet. You know what I mean? And so you know, they go through all this because they really basically it's just like if you've been on somebody's wrong for so long and you expect them to you know, exact revenge, and they also expect us to you know, get revenge for 400 years of tyranny, so to speak, and they also afraid of their station in life and their way of life is going to go away because of their built-in advantages. And so when you've lived here in this country, benefiting from that, I mean, it's scary when especially these new kids. I mean, these I forget what Dick Gregory used to call them, but he had I forget what that terminology was. But these new kids, he was talking about Mark Zuckerberg is one of them, and these new kids that think differently, and they're real smart. And I wish I could remember the terminology right now. I may have to look it up on the commercial break or whatever. But he talked about these quote unquote new kids, so to speak, and they have stepped up to the plate, and they don't feel like. Because our generation and older had a certain acceptance to this racism. That's just the way it is, and we have to function through it. But these new ones, they don't look at it that way. If it ain't fair, they're gonna say it's not fair, and they're gonna speak up about it. You know what I mean? And that's what I I admire the youth in that aspect. Because they ain't for that bullshit. Pardon my French, but they're just not.
And we are ready to rob.
Yeah. And my uncle used to say, "Hey boy, I grab you and jump out the window backwards."
Jump out the window backwards, man. That's a good
it ain't just jumping out the window. You jump out the window backwards, you really don't give a damn.
Right.
I mean, you going with me no matter what.
Right. Right.
And that's how it is. That's what they think. They'll grab you, jump out the window backwards. They don't care. They're not looking. They ain't looking where to lay in. They ain't putting their hands down. You just coming with me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in a sense, you have to, in order to keep your freedom, and get standing with the with the European, sometimes you got to develop that mentality, which is at all costs, I'm going to freedom or death. You know what I mean?
You know what? And that's
it.
How I look at it. That's how I look at it, because it's like they did to the guy in New Jersey. I think it's in New Jersey. If that had been would I've just stood there and let that happen? I don't think so. I think I would have got him off of him. It may have arrested me, but I just don't think I could stand there and let them do somebody in my family like that.
Yeah. I definitely would have to do something. I would have got shot trying to help my cousin or my brother or something, but I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
Well, it's the people that used to fight Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson would say everybody's got a plan until you get hit in the mouth.
Yeah. Hey, their first punch, I probably would have hopped my ass in the car. You're right.
Everybody got a plan until they get hit in the mouth. So I ain't gonna say what I would do. I'm just saying, I just have to weigh the facts and see how it goes. You know what I mean? If
that was your son, and you seen your son stand there and talk.
Well, it depends on what son you're talking about. You know how you got our kids are different. You got one that don't start no trouble. You know what I mean? That if they in a fight, somebody else started it. Then you got another one to be like, well, I got to ask some questions first. Because, you know what I mean? He could have went over there and said something that he didn't have no business saying. You know what I mean? Because kids are different. You know what I mean? I grew up in a household of brothers, and, we all were different. I was the guy that, you know what I mean? I didn't mess with no.
He's not that parent to be putting his knee on the back of his neck. If the parents
don't get me wrong.
Like that,
yeah.
Why would you allow someone else to do your son like that? You know what? If I didn't do anything, it would be because God kept me doing anything. Because if that was my son, I would have had to do something.
Yeah, and I'm joking because that's extreme. Don't get me wrong, I'm joking.
Absolutely,
but
you got to keep it light. But
yeah, I try to keep it light because
you do, David, in that situation? What can you do when the police officer of the law is on his neck? What are you gonna do? Call some more police?
Right, because they ain't gonna do nothing. So it's like, you know, we got to get a little more courage. And so I think that's what's wrong anyway. I think that's the thing that's wrong because they don't fear anything. They don't fear us. But
absolutely,
the police will.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you got you're going to fall for anything. And it's just like they went after the police department, set it on fire. That's what they should have done. You don't raid other stores that had nothing to do with it. You go after the people that's involved, like the police. Get their ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, too, is
make an example out of them.
Yeah. Well, the big thing is another thing is, I hate to say it, but it is what it is arming our community. We have to be armed and ready to defend ourselves should the occasion rise. I liken it to when I was in my 20s. We used to go party at the motorcycle club, and it was always peaceful at the motorcycle club. You know why it was always peaceful at the motorcycle club?
Was it?
Because everybody in there had a gun. So if you point a gun at somebody, you're gonna have one. You're gonna have 5 pointing back at you. So that in and of itself kept the peace. You know what I mean?
But you know what?
Now you go to.
The thing funny to me. I don't know if you guys have been on Instagram and you've watched, or even on Facebook Live, where this group of, I forget what they call it, the group of people. God, what was her name? And they would have their arm with shotguns, and they got like bulletproof vests and stuff like that, and men and women. Well, that somebody had posted on Facebook that like July 4th that the KKK was going to start shooting black people at 8:00 on the 4th of July.
I did see that.
So they went to the Stone Mountain, Georgia. The KKK's headquarters is. They were out there with guns and rifles and it was saying, you said you was going to start killing black people at 8:00. Well, we're going to still start killing white people at 8:05. I mean, we're ready.
7:55.
They went, huh?
I said, you actually, 8:05 is a little late. I'd start killing them at 7:55 if you're going to do that. If you're going to start killing people at 8:00, I'm going to start shooting at 7:55. I'm going to get mine out first. But
the KKK, they were nowhere around. Then they also went to this other place. But I'm like, where were they at when the George Floyd thing was going on? They were at March.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, everybody had men and women there. Everybody had rifles.
Yeah.
Walking the street.
I remember I used to work for the cable company at one time, and I was a troubleshooter, so they would call in, and if their cable was messed up. You know, people get crazy about their cable. This guy called me one day, and and his cable wasn't right, so he started cussing. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come down there and shoot you in your ass. You know what I mean? You know, when them crackers. So I told him. So, and our calls were monitored then. You know what I mean? They used to monitor our calls to see, you know, make sure we weren't saying nothing crazy. But he called me on the right day. And he said, I'll come down there and I'll shoot you in your ass. And I told him, I tell you what, they didn't stop making guns when they made yours. You know that, right?
Yes. Come get it.
You know, they didn't make yours to just stop. The production didn't just stop when they made yours, you know? Yeah. I said, you can bring it down here if you want to. We'll like this parking up like the 4th of July out here. You know what I mean? So he hung up. You know, but they didn't put me in the office, so evidently they wasn't monitoring that particular call.
Right. And they thought you handled that, you know, right.
Yeah, you know me. Hey, you know what I mean? We can play fairy tales or we can talk real. You know what I mean?
Say that.
They did not. Production did not stop on the guns when they made yours. They really didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, it just is what it is. Some folks, you know, they think, you know, it's because I used to tell people, you know, I'm not going to make you a highlight reel. You know what I mean? You know,
you're not using me.
White Man Sports Center. Yeah, I mean, and you just killing this brother, and that's the end of it. You know what I mean? Hey, and this is what happened. Hey, you know what I mean?
Nah, then they're gonna march for you for about a week, and then they forget your name.
Exactly.
Right.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. I love me some me. You know what I mean? I'm enamored, in love. You know what I mean? I stare at my picture sometimes and be like, man, I love that guy. You know? If you don't feel that way about you, ain't nobody else going to feel that way. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, you about right. You about right.
You know what I mean? So it's all about, it's all about loving oneself. You know what I mean? As far as, it's, the number one, the what's the old saying, the number one law of nature is self-preservation. You know what I mean? That's the number one law of nature, self-preservation. That exists for us as well as it does them. So, I had a guy used to get told to do one time, he was talking crazy, blah, 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 I'm going to kick your this, I'm going to kick your that. He told him, well, go ahead and bust your own nose.
Because that's what's about to happen, right?
Yeah.
Knock your own self out, because that's what's about to happen.
You know what I mean? Bust your own nose. I fell out laughing. What? You know what I mean? My grandmother, God rest her soul, she was the wisest, one of the wisest people I ever met. She used to have a saying, she was from Clarksdale, Mississippi, which you can throw a rock from Clarksdale, Mississippi to New Orleans. You know what I mean? You can literally throw a rock and you'd be in New Orleans. So that's where Clarksdale's situated. Okay. And she used to always say, when, about bullies, her whole terminology was, and it's part of my French, but this is what she used to say. She used to say, well, you know what? You tell that whoever that is that's messing with you, they got to bring ass to get ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
She believed that. You know what I mean? So, in other words, you gonna get mine, you got to put yours in jeopardy. So you got to bring it to get it.
Right. You know what the thing is about bullies? Once you fight them back, they'll leave you alone.
Every time. Yep.
And it's just like, then why be a bully if I just don't understand bullies.
It's an insecurity, I think. I always thought it was an insecurity of oneself. And then you go out there and get your ass whooped one good time, and then you won't be a bully. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, well, it's an attempt really just to prey on the weak. I think was what it is. Most bullies try to prey on the weak or who they deem weak. You know what I mean? And so that's what happens. And then you get that one guy that just ain't having it, and then their whole world gets turned around.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I remember we was in the schoolyard. We used to have this guy named Shannon that and he was tall for his age. He was like in 5th grade. And he was already like 6 feet tall. He was a tall kid to be young. You know what I mean? And he pick on everybody. And he had his try with me, but the teacher was upstairs when we got ready to go into it. So I wasn't the one that was supposed to give him that lesson, evidently. So we went out in the playground one day, and he had on, you remember those old school coats that used to have the hood and the big old drawstring. I guess it was like a rectangle on it. Well, he started messing with this guy, and this guy's name, his name was Anthony. His first name was Anthony, and his last name was Anthony. Double A. Well, Anthony grabbed Shannon, and he grabbed him by the collar, because he had his hood on, because it was cold outside. He had his hood on, so he grabbed him by them drawstrings and up around the collar, and he started pulling him into his fist.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So all you see is his head bobbing. You know what I mean? Every punch he's throwing, he's pulling that head into that fist. You know what I mean? So he's like eating fists every punch. I mean, he wore Shannon out. Shannon, boy, by the time Anthony got through wearing him out, Shannon started off 6 foot tall. By the time he got beat down, he was about 4'3". He was so nice after that. Oh, man. He went from bully to carrying rose petals. You feel me?
Real quick. With the strings on that jacket as the steering wheel. That was amazing.
He started, he just totally changed. All it took was that one.
You just take that one. Yep.
That one.
Yeah, and after
so
that,
it's like, once you can be a bully, you know.
yeah,
And, you know, you guys, I want to get your opinion on this. I did a post on Facebook about what are some of your family holiday traditions, or what are the traditions that you may want to start with.
Well, you know what? I'm officially retired from being Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? I was Santa Claus for a long time. You know what I mean? I was. And, you know, all my kids are grown now.
You can do something that you guys, your family do you do every year, or something that you want to pick up and start doing. It could be like your family get together.
Thanksgiving. I do Thanksgiving. We do that. And, you know, I'm not so much into Christmas anymore because it's so commercial and it's so just – and also I read in the Bible about some things that specifically speak against Christmas in regards to paganism. That you know, so that kind of took me off of that whole deal. And it's been so commercialized now, and like I said, I'm out of that mode now. But I still enjoy Thanksgiving. I still enjoy the New Year's celebration or whatever. But I'm not so much a Christmas guy anymore. I love the decorations. I like to see it. You know what I mean? And I'm not opposed to anybody who participates in it or anything like that. I mean, but as for me, I'm kind of off that, and I'm on to something else now. Because to me, it's like Christmas. It should be like Christmas should be every day to me, because it shouldn't be a certain time of year that you.
They can say the same thing for Thanksgiving. That Thanksgiving should give thanks every day, not just a certain day to be thankful.
That's true.
Right.
That's true. And I am thankful every day. You talking to somebody who just had a heart attack, so I'm thankful. I'm thankful every day.
I think people pick and choose the holidays they want to celebrate. Because if you can't celebrate Thanksgiving and not celebrate Christmas, or celebrate Christmas and not celebrate Thanksgiving because it's a pagan, then they both are the same thing.
Right. Well, I mean, as far as that's concerned, I don't judge people on what they decide to celebrate. It's just like my grandmother said, and I have to reiterate that. Well, if you please, I'm tickled to death. So, I don't judge anybody on what they decide, because, you can make counts and counterpoints to everybody's belief system. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I was give you a perfect example. I was in a conversation with a guy that I work with, and he was talking about, the Washington Redskins.
Right.
Yeah. They decided to call the team the Washington football team. And he was like, well, they've been calling it Redskins for years, and they shouldn't be. Why are they offended by this? Because it's really not offensive. And then, and it's been a tradition they've been doing for years. And I was going to tell him, I didn't get a chance to, because it was one of them things where I was at work and I didn't really want to incite a riot. That
right,
particular
at the
day.
job. Yeah.
But my whole thing was, I was going to tell him, I was like, look, man, if you let's say you're a child molester, okay, you know what I mean, and you've been raping this little girl since she was 2 or 3 years old, or your daughter or whatever, since she was 2 or 3 years old, and then after you got done, you call her dirty bitch. So then you know what I mean, and so then now all of a sudden, so she's used to being called dirty bitch. Does that make it right, or does that make you wrong?
Dang, that's
so. And I said, and from the stand, I know it's a harsh way to speak, but I'm just saying the same thing with the Redskins. The America went and basically committed genocide against the Native American people. You know what I mean? And one of the names they called them, to just making them less than human, was calling them Redskins. This was part of their justification on to treat them like they weren't human, and to kill them all. So it's not a position of honor. It was a reason it's what they use. Anytime anytime somebody wants to make somebody less than human, that's what they do. They belittle us. They call us niggers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Why? They don't, because they don't want to look at you as a human being. They want an excuse to perpetrate whatever it is they were trying to take from you. They use that as an excuse. And so I was all set to do that, but I just, I moved on from the subject matter. But the reason I was saying I made mention of the just the abusing of a child or whatever is because sometimes you gotta reach you gotta have something that you agree on that everybody thinks is wrong. So if this guy's a pedophile, he's going to think that's wrong. You know what I mean? If you're a moral person, you're going to think that's wrong because a racist might not think anything's wrong with dogging black people out. So I had to. I'm trying to.
But you have to think about it. Like I never thought about red skin being like that because is their skin not kind of reddish?
Yeah.
So if that's true, why would someone? It's different than being called a nigger. Nigger doesn't say the skin color. Now, if they would say, if they call us black, we are black. So why would we call them white? You're white.
But if they called you tar skin, then it'd be a problem, then, right? Because it'd be a problem with me.
Well, it depends because.
But you ain't better call me tar. You feel what I'm saying? But I ain't going for that one. And for the record, I love Christmas. I got a lot of my Naparazzis listening. I don't want them to take my gifts back. I love Christmas. Christmas is still on at the Naparazzi house.
But you know what? It's just like the birthday. The birthday. Some people say, why do you celebrate birthday? You shouldn't celebrate living.
I heard that too before. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, and so it's like people pick and choose what they want to celebrate. But then if you celebrate it, it's like, well, you shouldn't do that because that's a pagan.
Well, I'll be pagan then because I want my gifts. I like Christmas cookies. I like all the Christmas stuff. So call me what you want to call me, but Big Mama gonna make them cookies Christmas Eve. So that's what I'm gonna do. They just took away everything else. Y'all want them to take Christmas too? I ain't letting them take Christmas.
I like Christmas because I like to. It seems like sometimes people are much nicer, much happier around Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I really like that. And plus, you get to spend time with your family. I love giving gifts. I just love giving gifts.
Me too.
And
I like that too. I like wrapping gifts.
I personally don't feel anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, and again, my perspective of it is that if you read in the scriptures and it makes reference to people that are cutting trees down in the woods and bringing them in a house and then adorning them, and it's like a perfect description of what the Christmas tree is. It's like, so in order for you not to know what you're talking about, you just have to act like you're blind and you're blind and you didn't read what you just read. So that kind of just hit me.
But what does it say about Thanksgiving?
Damn, Wilson, you done ruined Christmas for me already. I don't even want to do Christmas.
Because they say Thanksgiving is a pagan holiday as well.
Well, me personally, I didn't find anything Thanksgiving specific in the scriptures. You know what I mean? But this particular description of Christmas was like too on point. It's just like it's like God knew that this was coming down the pike, and He actually was prepared and put it in there, so that for our knowing. So to me, it's like unavoidable. It's like I can have a belief system, but then when I see that, and it's like, whoa. Now, do I act like I didn't see it?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't act like I didn't see it. That's all.
There's something else I wanted to ask you, too, because you had said something, and I didn't know where it was in the Bible, but you said one time that it says in the Bible that the living dead not walk amongst the living. Where is that at?
I had to Google it because I don't recall exactly where it was. But you said it had what was it? You said dead has no more.
You said something about the dead not live amongst the living.
I think the scriptures were actually referring to the because it's the term is necromancy. I think is what it is, worshiping in the dead.
Because I think what we were talking about was you didn't believe in ghosts, but you believed in demons.
Yeah, my grandmother used to have a saying. She used to tell us, "Don't be worried about ghosts. It's these live fools you got to worry about running around."
Yeah, I remember my grandma saying that too. It ain't the dead you got to worry about. Yep.
Right.
Because
these live fools running around here. So I agree with that. But no, there is a scripture that refers to the dead have no more to do with this world, is what it said. You know what I mean? It and I'm paraphrasing because I don't know the exact scripture. I'd have to Google it. But
it brought up all kind of stuff that didn't have nothing to do with what I was talking about.
That's good radio for you. That's good radio. That's good radio. I said that's good radio then.
Because I really don't want to get into this right now because it's nighttime. But paranormal, and that's what made me think about what you had said one time. I remember that.
Right.
And they said demons are spirits that have never lived on Earth.
Oh. Now, well, my understanding of what demons are the it's like, for example, I'll give you an example. I was reading this book that they were talking about the Nephilim, which is basically the offspring of the sons of God, which are the angels, and earthly women. Okay, so when they have children, they produce what the men of renown or giants. Okay, so people that you see in like the Greek mythology, like Atlas and Hercules and all these folks. Well, when those folks die, since they're abominations, they don't have anywhere to go because they weren't supposed to be. So when so in other words, when you die, your spirit goes to be with the one who created you. You know what I mean? So right. The Bible says, absent from the body, present with the Lord. Right. So if you're an abomination and you never should have been, then you're stuck in the limbo because you don't have anywhere to go, because you don't ascend to heaven because you were never supposed to be anywhere.
Right.
And so what these spirits do, they run around. Now that they don't have a body to live in, they run around trying to possess people who have bodies so that they can function in a body. So this is what they're doing, right. And this is why when you watch like some of these videos about the AI, like Suri and all those folks, you know what I mean? Suri, when you talk to Suri, and then if you ever watch some of these videos, if you get a chance, watch some of these videos where Suri and what's the other one's name? The other honey?
Alexa.
Alexa, yeah.
Alexa, yeah.
Suri and Alexa, if you watch some of these videos on YouTube, watch them, and when you get a chance, pull it up. They will say stuff that's off script. You know what I mean? You might ask them something. They had one, I watched the video where, can't remember if it was Suri or Alexa, but one of them started talking like the Silence of the Lambs character. So, good night, Clarice. You know, that kind of and it's a bunch of a bunch of crazy stuff because AI is, these, and they got these androids that they've created as well. They got some in China. They got one that reports the news like 24 hours a day, and it looks just like a human being, but it's an android, and it reports the news 24 hours a day. Well,
that's crazy stuff.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you got these disembodied spirits, and then they can enter into anything, and especially these things that got intelligence in them to begin with, well, ain't no telling what they might do, if they've been inhabited by a demon.
Right, because they got a willing host now, with their hands.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's basically, Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so these
something to think about.
So what do you think about, like, what what you watch on TV? Some people say you need to be careful about what you're watching on TV because I mean, does that sound?
I thoroughly believe that.
Really?
I thoroughly believe that. Oh yeah, you can watch something, and give, invite something in your life just by watching stuff.
Yeah, and I'm a big dreamer too. Yeah, I'm a big dreamer. It seems like a lot of the stuff I watch, I end up dreaming about. So, yeah.
I'm a big dreamer too.
I would say,
but I got to be careful too. It's like when you go to the Goodwill or the secondhand store or something, bring something to your home because somebody's spirit that may have died could be on that stuff. Like one guy, he brought a jacket. His girlfriend bought him a jacket. And he put it in his closet. And then when he went to sleep at night, he just felt like somebody was in bed with him. And he felt that way like 2 nights. So he decided to videotape when he was asleep. And when he woke up, he seen somebody get up and go through the wall. He thought it was him, but he was like, well, how could I go through the wall? And he kept having this kept happening. And he's like, well, what is different in here? And he realized he got that jacket, so he put the jacket in his garage, and he didn't have that issue anymore.
Well, you can give me that jacket because I got to go home alone tonight. I'll take the jacket. But you know what? I'll take that jacket right now. What does she look like when she went through the wall?
Yeah, no kidding. I'm gonna hang out at the Nicki Minaj concert and grab her jacket.
You see what I'm saying? I want to see what that jacket do. I'm going to the secondhand store tomorrow. I'm going in the morning.
In the morning.
That's why I try to stay away from places like that because I don't need to be bringing any spirit here.
Yeah, but it makes sense though. Things getting attached to other people's stuff. Been in their house 45 years, so I feel what you're saying by that. It can you bring that into your house.
Right.
Well, I mean that ain't no different than touching claim. Yeah.
Well, I didn't say that.
I'm just saying, if you believe that, you touch the claim ain't gonna work either. You know what I mean? Because you can touch my car and claim it be yours. You know what I mean?
That's why they said you gotta be careful who you hug. That's why some people
all that stuff is a little spooky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff is a little spooky. But you know what I just try to keep stuff on a level, and not delve into stuff like that, because I'm what they call what's the technical term? Oh, I know, big chicken. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that, man.
I want no part of that. You know what I mean?
At nighttime.
Yeah, I don't want no parts of that. I'm not watching it. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not interested in it. No, not in the least. You know what I mean? Because it's enough crazy stuff manifest. COVID is scary enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a real scary movie. Yeah.
You know what I mean? COVID, and all these and Indianapolis becoming the shooting gallery it is now. That's scary enough. You know what I mean? Let alone to be trying to invite some other crap. You know what I mean? Just just Saturday night in Indianapolis on the east side is scary in and of itself. You know what I mean? Let alone
that's a thriller.
Delving off into something else.
But Wilson, how we talked about my book, The Seed, how about aliens and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Finally got that published.
Oh, really?
The Seed.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's about
that's what's up.
Stagnating people on Earth.
That's dope. Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
I can't wait to read that one. I'm going to want to read that one. I like sci-fi and all that stuff. I love that book. Yeah. Already The Seed. I like the sound of that.
how I came up with this, but I did.
That was my next question. I didn't think we had a long enough show because I want to know details about the seed. I've got to know details about that one.
They look like normal people, but they can also change into an alien form. And this is how they start in your dream. They make you think you're dreaming. And then once they do that so many times, they show themselves to you as a human being. And like this female, she's trying to get pregnant. So
she'll make you think you're dreaming. You'll fall in love. Poison, deadly.
Poison.
Slow.
Poison. Man, a couple of those. A couple of those around here. Man, the seed, though. I can't wait to read that one. That sounds like a good read.
If you're single, I don't know if it's going to be a good read for you.
Oh, man.
Yeah, if you love the
I like the sci-fi, though.
Huh?
I was going to say, if you love the seed, you'll love Lafrika's Revenge. Lafrika Desire, that's her name. She's crazy. But anyway.
I'm Googling that right now. I'm about to find out on Google. Tell me everything.
You're lonely. I forgot.
I'm telling you, I'm going to get that jacket in the morning.
I'm got my own one right now. Get you a woman quick. We're going to get you a woman quick. You know what I mean? We're going to invite you to a couple of church picnics. Right? You know what I mean?
I need to do some speed dating.
We're going to tie you up. Don't worry about it.
It would just get me right before Christmas.
Oh, my God. What I would ask you, where were you at when you did your audition?
I was actually at work. Yeah.
I'm like somewhere where he's doing this and he shouldn't be doing it.
You could tell, couldn't you? You could tell I was about to get fired.
Auditioning yourself.
You could tell I was on my way to get fired. My boss was around the corner. I said, I got to get this audition done. I don't care what nobody says. I'm getting it done.
Well, you know, hey, shoot, if it don't shape your future, don't waste time doing it. I ain't mad at you.
I'm telling you.
Oh,
and
my
I'm
God.
able to do it. I'm back today.
Hey, time's a precious gift. I tell you that much.
I'm telling you, folks should have been fired me, but I'm too good.
It was so
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
I'm telling you.
What's supposed to be doing this?
You can tell I was sneaking. Well, you can tell I'm a good actor. I managed to do that and do my job at the same time. I barely made it. But it's going to change my badge this morning, but it worked.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes you got to put that time in where you can get it in. You know what I mean? So
I'm telling you, I'm living my life stress free. That's how I'm doing. If they got a problem, I'll get back and download my voucher and get my unemployment. They make the decision. Then I have enough time to film. I'll do all your movies then. I have enough time on my hands.
Oh, my God.
That is funny. I'm telling you.
Good thing, good business. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, though, man. I'm not mad at you. You do what you gotta do. Because hey, you only live once. You might as well get her done, as that old guy used to say. I forget that comedian's name. Cable guy. You used to say, get her done.
Get her done, yeah. Get her done.
Well, guys, it's been real, and we're about to run out of time. So, and you guys have anything to say before we end this show?
Yes, I got to say, look out for Naparazzi magazine this Sunday at 12 noon. New issue.
Okay.
That's what's up. Coming soon, Arctic OGs. Keep listening for me. It's coming real soon.
Okay.
We want to get a Naparazzi interview with the Arctic OGs too. We need to set that up.
That sounds like a winner. That one's gonna work for sure. We definitely got to get that popping. No question.
All right.
No question, man. No question.
Okay, I want to thank our listeners for listening and thank our guests for Nathaniel Crimson and of GIIB Music Group. Thank them for gracing us with their presence. Stay tuned. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 7 to 9 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Thank you, guys.
We're going to put
Good
out
night.
an APB for